Hey guys, what's up? And today I'll be creating my first Android Studio tutorial. So let's get right into it. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click on Android Studio. I'm going to let it load up. Okay, now that it's loaded up, I'm going to click on Start a New Android Studio Project. But since these two things are coming up, I'm just going to click X on them. They're not really that important. So I'm going to click on Start a New Android Studio Project. And over here on application name, I'm going to write Hello World Tutorial Project. In this, I'm going to start running this Hello World tutorial project, and in this company domain, you want something unique to be there. To me, that's pretty unique. And then on project location, I'm going to store it on my desktop. You can store it wherever you want, but that's where I'm storing it. Click Next. On this, I'm going to choose phone and tablet, because I really don't have any of these other ones, but I do have a phone. So I'm going to go here and click API 15. This is the more supported API versions, and to help you choose, you can just go to this one and see which one you want. This is like the minimum, like the bare minimum SDK that it will support. So you can have Gingerbread if you wanted to, but not all the features that you might code in my tutorial series, that will work with Gingerbread. So I'm going to choose ice cream sandwich, but don't worry, if you download it on something like Marshmallow, it'll work just as fine. So I'll click OK. I'm going to select API 15, click Next. For right now, just select empty activity, but later on we'll use all of these activities, if not most of them. So I'm going to click Next. And you want to generally leave these alone, but if you want your main activity to be named something, so I'm going to call it Hello World Fun Place. I'm going to call it Hello World Fun Place. Oh, you can't really have that. Okay, I'm going to put, Hello World Fun Place. You can't really have spaces in this. You want to have underscores. Okay, so I'm going to click Finish. And over here, it will create a folder on my desktop or wherever you want, or wherever you saved it. And I'm going to let it run the Gradle. You don't want to cancel this, otherwise it will mess up your whole app. So just let it run. Should not take that long. Yes. And if everything works fine, you might get something called Tip of the Day. If you do not want this, just click this and it'll go away, but I like it, so I'm going to click Close for right now. And I'm going to let this Gradle build run. You may notice that there's some errors here, but because this is still running and indexing, it will go away right after that's done. Okay, so you may notice that Android Studio defaultly open your .xml, activity.xml file and activity.java file. And I'll just click on the XML file just to get everything loaded up. And if it shows API 24 for you, I'm going to switch this to 23 because this is the one that I've downloaded. And I'm going to switch this to the Nexus 6P. And I'm going to go down here and click Text. And if you get this that says missing styles, is this the correct theme for this layout? Just click refresh right here and it will fix your problem. There you go. Now you can see how your app would look like if you were to download this on your phone. Now we're going to make some little walkthrough around this .xml file. So if you notice, this is a layout up here. You're always going to have a parent layout for each and every single one of your .xml files. So there are two different types of layouts you will have for at least this tutorial series. It would be a relative layout or a linear layout. Now the only difference between a relative layout and a linear layout is that a linear layout will stack your text or your images vertically or horizontally, but a relative layout, you cannot stack anything. It will just be relative to different things, to different text views or image views. Now over here we have default code that will be given to you, and then Android layout width and layout height. Basically, layout width and layout height, what it is that it takes the screen of your Android phone and it sets it as match parent. So match parent will be the amount of screen real estate you have. So the width would be this way, and the height would be this way. And the whole thing will be the width and the height. So for your parent layout, or in our case is linear layout, we will always set this to be match parent. Over here you see some default code that they give you. It's called padding. Padding is just the amount of space that you see here. So you see this right here between hello world and this one right here. So this space right here is what they call 16 dp. You don't really need to know what dp stands for. You just need to know that this is 16 dp right here and this is 16 dp right there. You can always change it, but for right now I'm just going to delete this code. And if you notice, the text moved from here to all the way in the corner. See, now that looks ugly, so I'm just going to Control Z, or if you're on a Mac, I'll do Command Z. Now you want to leave this line alone as well. Okay, so there are different types of views that are in Android. So for right now, we're only going to go with the text view. But in later tutorials, I'll show you how to add an image view. We'll add some pretty pictures, we'll add a button or two, and we'll make it do stuff using the .java file. But for right now, we're just going to keep this text view right here, and we'll maybe make the text size bigger. So we can just type in size, and you see text size right here, double click on it, and you can make it as many pixels as you want. So I'm just going to make it 50 dp. But usually when you're typing text size, you want this instead of dp to be sp. And this will fix the yellow highlighted code that you have. Now you see on the right, this will show you how big your text is. So now you see that it's a little too big, so I'm going to move it down to 45 sp. That looks better. Okay, so now it's time to run our app. I don't have a phone with me right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it on the emulator. So we're going to click this play button on top, and then you see that no USB devices or running emulators are detected. So see, I've already have some emulators, but I'll create a new one with you guys. So I'm going to click on create a new emulator. For you, it should show nothing. So I'm going to click on create a new emulator, and I'm going to click on whichever I want. To be honest, my favorite phone is the Nexus 1. So I'll click on the Nexus 1, and I'll click next. And when we downloaded Android Studio, it came with some default Android platforms. And I'm going to pick Marshmallow because I think Marshmallow is the coolest thing ever, and it tastes awesome. So I'm going to click on next. And it's going to ask me what to name my Android virtual device. I'm going to call it Nexus 1 API 23, and I'm going to call this test device. It's going to show me what the height and width is going to be. It's going to show me what platform, and on startup whether I want portrait or landscape. I'm going to click on portrait because portrait is what I'm going to use it for. And emulated performance, you can choose the graphics to be whatever, but I'm going to click on auto. As well as, right after I'm done with that, I'm going to click on finish. This will start creating a saving AVD part. And then while it's saving AVD, basically what this is doing is creating an Android virtual machine on your laptop. So basically, right after you're done with that, we will be able to run our Android Android app on it. Our first app. It's called Hello World. I'm just going to skip through this really fast so then you don't have to see it. Okay, it's taking longer than I thought. I'll just have to skip through it for real. So let me go down here. I'm gonna click right here. I'm gonna pause it for right now and I'll come right back. Okay, so I'm back. And basically you can see that our Nexus 1 API 23 test device is right here. I'm gonna click on it and then I'm gonna click OK. Now it's gonna show this Android monitor right here. It's gonna pop up and it's gonna start running it. Starting to run the Gradle build again. What it does is when this Gradle build is running, it basically checks if there's any errors in your app, which I really hope we don't have because I barely changed anything. So, wait for that. I'll let the emulator load and then I'll let the device also run the app and I'll be right back. Okay, so my emulator loaded up and I'm waiting for it to turn on, and when the emulator turns on, I'll come back. Okay, I'm back and my app loaded up. So it says Hello World Tutorial Project, Hello World. And I've also decided the Nexus 1 sucks. So we're probably going to use a different emulator later in the future. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button.